Here's another one that is really probably the most frequently misquoted result in computing. And the next time you see this crop up, I want you to call bullshit. Right? The best programmers are up to 28 times more productive than the worst. Or 10 or 40 or 100 or some number that's large enough to be impressive but not so large that you're going to disbelieve me. Right? And if you do a Google, you will find lots of different numbers plugged in there. It's folklore. Right? If you trace it back, reference upon reference upon reference, it all comes back to Sackman, Erickson, and Grant in 1968. How many of you were even born in 1968? Yeah, right. Okay. Seriously? This is the first time in my life nobody has put up their hand. I'm sad now. Because I was. Okay. Let's have a look at that study. Number one, it wasn't designed to look at the productivity of programmers. It was designed to compare batch processing, where you write your program, hand it off to the operator, they go and run it and give you back your results tomorrow, versus interactive programming, which is what you've all done, because it is more productive. Okay? But 1968, this is still expensive and new. So that's what they were trying to study, not individual variations. But they thought, what the hell, we've got data for the programmers who took part in the study, let's do that analysis. They don't tell you in the paper how they're measuring productivity. Right? Treatment X makes people healthier, but we're not going to tell you how we measure health. Bounce the paper in any other discipline. Measuring the best versus the worst, which is what their comparison does, exaggerates any effect. Right? You want to tell me about your distribution, give me standard deviations around the mean. I'll take that. But let's face it, if you compare the best driver in the world to the worst, the ratio is infinite, because the worst driver in the world is dead. I need to come up with a better example. Finally, 12 programmers for an afternoon. Right? That number that many software companies base all of their hiring practices around can be traced back to 12 self-taught programmers, because it's 1968, there aren't CS degrees, working on hardware the likes of which none of you will ever see for an afternoon. Okay. Confidence levels, red card, green card, red card. Okay? Excuse me. The next major study, comparing productivity of different programmers, 1983, looked at 54 people instead of 12. Good. The longest of whom spent 63 minutes in the study. Okay? Generalizing from that to what makes you productive, or how relatively productive you're going to be,